Tonight at 5, a Mobile City Council member is asking the Altapointe board today to conduct a full investigation into alleged cases of negligence.
This comes after Scott Jones called for the removal of the Altapointe CEO 2 weeks ago during a council meeting.
That call to step down came after a jury decided to make Altapointe pay up $7 million to a former Altapointe patient who was sexually assaulted by another patient in 2019.
NBC 15's Lisa Lebruniak joins us live to give us a recap. Lisa, what can you tell us?
Well, Kim and Andrea, this case has sparked a lot of concern from some community members. And to give some background, the former patient's lawyers say he had a mental capacity of an 11-year-old when the incident happened, but at the time he was actually 19 years old.
So our client was there voluntarily. He admitted himself and on November 18th of 2019. And on the evening of November 21st, another patient snuck into his room and sexually assaulted him.
Lacey Smith and Brian Comer represented the former patient at Altapointe Hospital. His mother represented him in court. And after lawyers presented all the details, a jury reached a verdict. Altapointe has to pay up $7 million.
So what evidence is there to support the claim that your client was raped?
So for starters, the note that was entered by the nurse who walked in on the act noted that the other patient was in our client's room on top of him in his bed. Neither of them were wearing pants.
After the verdict, we asked Altapointe for a statement. The CEO said, quote, "We sympathize with the patient and their family. This incident, as alleged, is not something any of us would allow to happen. As heartbreaking as these allegations are, we also must recognize that the challenges we face in mental health are vast and complicated. We respectfully disagree with the decision by the jury and will be appealing this verdict." That response didn't sit well with Mobile's District 6 council member Scott Jones, calling for the removal of Altapointe's CEO.
In this country, the buck stops at the top. Leadership creates culture. Leadership demands accountability. Leadership does not run from hard facts.
The latest person to share her concerns is Sherry Graham. She spoke at this week's City Council meeting, asking them to look into positive strategies to combat mental health in the community.
Are you going to be the leader who encourages investment of new mental health services in your community? All of us here today are where we are because all streets lead to no competition. When there is no competition, business and nonprofits become complacent.
Now, Kim and Andrea, Altapointe's annual board meeting is about to wrap up. We'll check back in. Scott Jones, the Mobile City Council member, he was here asking the board to investigate those alleged cases. Back to you.
Elisa, did anything else come out of that meeting?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot that was said in this meeting at the beginning. Basically, the CEO was kind of giving a recap of the past year. They talked a lot about staffing shortages. Right now, they have just under 1,700 employees, but they should be about 2,000, around 2,000. And there's also talk about expanding some hospitals, one in Mobile and one in Baldwin County. I'll have more on that coming up at 6 o'clock. Reporting live in Mobile, Lisa Lebruniak, NBC 15 News.